is up everyone and welcome to the finale of building Coruscant, the hunt for Ahsoka. Now this is the mock building series I started way back in July, where I'm recreating the scene from season 5 of the Clone Wars TV show where Ahsoka attempts to escape from the clone base on Coruscant. So sat right in front of me is the completed and finished Coruscant mock. I can't wait to show you, but before we get into it, I want to say a huge shout out and thank you to everyone who supported me throughout this series in every single video. The support for this series has been phenomenal, so thank you guys so much. And also a huge thank you and shout out goes to everyone who donated to me on live streams, as well as all of my members. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for supporting me to that extra level. It really did help to fund this giant and awesome mock. But yeah, if you haven't already watched the entire series, make sure to go back. I'll leave a link to the playlist down below if you want to check out every single episode so far. And also, of course, I have to give one last huge shout out to my series sponsor, which was Minifig Customs UK, a really high quality custom printing company that made most of the figures that I used in this mock, including all of the Shock Trooper bodies, as well as the ARC Trooper hounds and everything like that. These guys are amazing. I really love their custom printed quality. And if you want to see more about them, make sure to go check out the link down below and use my code SWBricks10 for 10% off. But yeah, without further ado, let's head straight into the full walkthrough for my Coruscant base mock. And now I can present to you the finale of building Coruscant in Lego. So this is the entire mock completed and set up, ready for the finale video. And in today's video, I'm going to be going through every little detail of the mock and every little part of it that I created, creating the scene from season 5 of the Clone Wars TV show. So when planning out the mock, I split it into 3 main sections. We have the top section up there, then the middle section, and the bottom section over here. So the first section is the piping section. So we see Ahsoka escaping down into the Coruscant underworld via these sort of massive pipes. I don't know what these pipes are actually for, but they look really awesome in that dark red. And it was one of the first things that inspired me to build this mock. You can see there's 3 of the pipes in total with these nice walkways running over the top. You can see Ahsoka is being chased on this first walkway right here. And you can see this caused the entire mock to be raised up quite considerably. You can see below here we have some nice stairs that run down into the lower section where we have some nice puddles and things like that. Because of course there was a lot of rain during the escape on Coruscant. So yeah, obviously I had to include those. And I think that was a nice touch throughout the mock. We have some small details on the walls and stuff like that, but mainly the main focus of this area is these giant dark red pipes. And yeah, we can see Ahsoka is escaping along the top of this walkway right here on top of the pipes, basically running away from the Coruscant Guard right there. You can see we have Sergeant Hound, another ARC Trooper there behind him, and a load of different Shock Troopers chasing her down. We also have a couple of guys ready in the gunship, ready to shoot her down. This was a nice little pose I put up here. And yeah, the gunship is floating above the mock on these nice transparent pieces. I did have a lot of problems posing this. I actually smashed an entire Republic gunship whilst preparing for this mock. So I'm so glad I had a second one to recolor and put into the mock. Otherwise it would have been delayed even more. But yeah, you can see basically it's floating over the top here. We have the guy with the RPG who knocks Ahsoka off of the walkway in a second. And then we have another guy up there as well getting ready to shoot her down. This gunship right here is actually the M5 builds model. If you want to see my review of this, I definitely will leave a link in the description down below. It's a really nice model and I'm really glad I managed to include it into the mock. So yeah, this is pretty much the lower section of the mock. Basically these giant pipes with these walkways and some lower areas. I'm really glad with the way this came out. Obviously, I could set up the scene where Ahsoka gets sort of like cornered over here as well, which is something that I really wanted to do. So I can have both of the scenes being recreated in one area. Obviously, it would have been a lot more spread out in the actual show, but for the space I had, I think it turned out well. One thing I wish I could have added in was dark bluish grey lightsaber hilts. However, they don't make those sadly. So Lego, come on, up your game, make some of those dark bluish grey lightsaber hilts. So up to section 2 of the mock now. We do have some hidden rooms underneath here, which I will be going over later. Those are some really cool Easter eggs. But yeah, the main section was this landing platform right here. Basically, we have these 2 big landing platforms embedded in, ready for the gunships to be parked there. Obviously, this one's just taken off and is starting the pursuit of Ahsoka. But yeah, these platforms took a ton of time to make, just purely because it was quite hard fitting them into the gap and getting them perfectly added in. Obviously, there's a few different areas here. We have the snot facing this way, we have the bricks facing this way, we have plates facing that way and that way. So you can see it was pretty hard fitting in, and you can also see I added in some sandwich tiles around the edge just to get that nice clean effect. And I'm really happy with the way this is fit into the actual mock and flows seamlessly from one section to the other. But yeah, we can see we've got some nice areas of snot. We have a few different ones. We have one here. We have these giant pieces of snot right here, which took a long time to figure out. We have some more areas over there. If you didn't know what snot means, that means studs not on top. So basically the bricks are placed on their sides. And it allows you to create some more detail and stuff like that into the mock. And I'm really glad I did that because it adds a lot of nice markings and things like that. So we do have the main bulk of the shock troopers chasing down Ahsoka up here. Then we do have Anakin, Rex and Fox trying to chase her down and convince her not to run away. So this section of the mock took a long time just purely because of the amount of filler brick that it takes to build up this entire area. You can see this is pretty thick and definitely underestimated how many bricks it takes to raise up that entire section. But I'm really glad I did because it allows for the nice depth over here. Then moving up to the top section, this is the actual base itself. So for starters, we have this nice curved bit here. This is sort of going off a lot of different concept arts. It had this big curved area and I'm really happy with the way this looks. I did add these curved staircases in and I think they looked really good. I added them on both sides. Then one of the big centerpieces of the actual base itself was this giant Republic symbol. So huge shout out to my friend EJ Sparrow for helping me design this absolutely amazing logo. I think it looks really good and it's made with a load of different snot techniques. I had a load of fun adapting it and adding it into the mock. And yeah, basically this is the main centerpiece of this main center area here. Then we do have the turrets on either side. I'm really happy with the way these guys came out. I tried to keep this as accurate as possible with these light bluish grey areas sort of jutting out slightly wider than the actual base itself. And I'm really happy with the way this worked. I do like the top bit. It's slightly smaller than the actual base, but I think it's accurate to what we see. And we do see one of these turrets actually gun down the escape vehicle that Ahsoka was aiming for in the start of the pursuit. But yeah, really like the way these look on either side of the mock, and I think they look really menacing, and they are quite sizable. You can see over there we have a couple of minifigs next to them. They are quite sizable compared to the actual minifigs. Over here we do have a couple of shock troopers and an officer in pursuit as well to join the chase. And then that leads us to the main area of the base itself. So this is the actual area of the base in which we have all the different flags, and then we do have the memorial in the middle, but I decided to cut it off short. Obviously I didn't want to build the entire base, otherwise it would be literally giant. But yeah, I built these two sections on either side, the flags in the middle, and then a few other areas. So basically, yeah, these are big towers on either side at the start of the actual base. I really like the way this looks. I did add a few different areas of snot and things like that, and a few different cool techniques on here to get some nice greebling and some nice window effects. And then we do have the same thing on the other side. I literally replicated it onto the other side, and I'm really happy with the way these look. Obviously, they would be much bigger, but in the grand scheme of things, with the area I had to work with, I'm really happy with the way these look. Then into the middle, we do have the flagged area. I'm really happy with the way these flags turned out as well. So leading back to the entrance of the base, we do have the flags on either side, and I decided to capture this sort of start point of this, as well as this big flag in the middle. I really like the way these are like flowing and waving. I think this was a good technique to use with loads of different 1x1s and things like that in there to get some nice waving effects. And I do have the giant flag up there in the middle as well. So yeah, that's pretty much the exterior of the base right there. We're going to take a look into each of the secret rooms down the bottom and have a look at what Easter eggs I managed to include in the mock. So yeah, each one of these rooms can actually be pulled out like so and be used pretty easily, so I could adapt it and work on them as I built the mock. I'm really glad I did that because it definitely made it a lot easier in the actual building process. But yeah, let's have a look at this first room. Okay, so the first room we see here is the actual prison cell that we see Ahsoka escaping from. So we have my sig fig right there guarding the prison cell, and then inside we do have Barriss Offee. Obviously she tried to frame Ahsoka, so I decided it was fitting to add her into the prison cell. We just have a few different markings on the floor, a little bed which she sat on, and then a little sink off to the left hand side. Overall, this was the most simple of the rooms, but yeah, really glad with the way it came out. I like that little red door, but yeah, there wasn't many details I could add, and obviously with the size of these little rooms, it was a little bit tricky, but I think overall it captures the scene pretty well. The next hidden room is actually the control center that we see Fox in when Ahsoka is running out of the base. Now this can be modified. I have got this glass bit right here that I can just break off and have a look inside the actual bit right here. We have a few different screens which have a few different bits of prisoner analysis and things like that on there. We do have these screens at the back, which I'm glad with the way they turned out as well. I think that was pretty accurate to the scene. And then we do have another screen on the left hand side as well, and we do have a couple of shock troopers in here, including Thorn, who's a really cool figure. And I'm really glad I managed to include him into the mock as well. But yeah, basically this is the main prison control room from the actual Coruscant prison underneath the airbase. So yeah, this was pretty important to include. And this one just slots right back in there next to the prison cell, which makes complete sense because when she escapes from the prison, she runs this way towards the actual thing right here. I would have loved to add some corridors and things like that in, but sadly I didn't have room. But yeah, let's move on to the third and final hidden room. So now we move on to the third and final room right here. Now this is the one I had probably the most amount of fun working on. Now this is the armory for the clone troopers on the base on Coruscant. Now I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I didn't have much space again with these little rooms, but we did add this big door in at the back there. You can see a few different lights and things like that on the walls, as well as these gun racks that flank both sides of the armory. Obviously it's a little bit cramped, but yeah, we have a few different clone troopers grabbing their weapons and things like that, grabbing their helmets, and we do have this Commando 5s, which is one of my favorite clone troopers I've ever made, in the back right there. Then running through the middle, we do have this helmet stand on top of this nice little table right here. I really like the way it's sort of floating off the ground, and I like the way this turned out for sure. We do have another weapons rack over on the side here with some RPGs, as well as a clone shield on the wall as well. Overall, I just think this armory turned out really nicely for the size. I really like the blast doors at the back and just think it was a really fun one to work on. I had a lot of fun and adding the guns into the walls and the helmets onto the stands and things like that. But yeah, I'd love to hear in the comments, which is your favorite hidden room from underneath the Coruscant moc. I'm really glad I added these in because it added some more detail into the moc, which is really, really nice and definitely made for some nice extra room and extra things to work on whilst I was building it. My personal favorite is definitely the barracks. I think this was a close second, and then the prison cell, just because it's so plain, is the least favorite. But yeah, there wasn't many details I could have added into a prison cell. It's not the most interesting room, especially with the amount of space I had to work with. But yeah, overall, these three turned out really nicely in my opinion. So yeah, that is my Coruscant moc, guys. I hope you did enjoy. I want to say a huge thank you once again for all the support. We had over 200,000 views on the entire series from episode 1 to episode 21. I know it took quite a while for me to get this finale out, so I hope you did enjoy. We did have a giant disaster surrounding the gunship last night as of recording this video, so go check out that video if you haven't already. But yeah, I had an incredible time making and filming this moc. I love doing these moc building series. It's so fun. Some of the support and some of the feedback from you guys was absolutely crucial for this moc, so huge thank you, and make sure you stay tuned for my next big mock building series, which will be announced around the end of January, maybe February time, something like that. Let me know what you think I should do next as well. I really haven't decided on what I want to do next. I think I want to go with the Imperial era, but I might be going back to clones. I don't exactly know. But yeah, huge thank you to everyone who watched this series. I really did have a load of fun. It was so fun sort of working on all the different techniques and things like that for the mock. It was slightly different from my Jedi Temple and anything I've done in the past. That was my main biggest mock before that, and now this is the biggest mock that I've ever made, and I can't wait to build bigger and better mocks for you guys in the future. I definitely think with my parts collection growing as it is, I think I'll be able to do a much bigger mock for my next mock. But once again, I haven't really decided what I want to do yet. But yeah, once again, I want to give a huge thank you to everyone who liked these videos, commented on these videos, shared the videos, watched the videos, even just clicked on the videos. I really do appreciate it. And also to the people who supported me financially by donations on my live streams as well as memberships. I really do thank you for that. So if you guys do want to check out my membership options, I really wouldn't be able to do these videos and these sort of giant mocks without you guys. So huge thank you to you, and also huge thank you to the people like EJ Sparrow who really helped with the design of that Republic symbol. And also huge thank you goes out to Minifig Customs, the really great custom supplier of all of these amazing clone troopers. I really do thank you for these guys. They're incredible. And thank you to everyone who used my discount code at their website as well. You really do help me to get these incredible minifigs for these incredible mocks. So yeah, once again, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are not already. It would be really awesome if you joined the channel and we could get closer to that 20k mark. Also, what do you think I should do with this mock? Do you think I should do a little different version, an alternate version? I was thinking about possibly transforming it into an Imperial base just for a video. I thought that'd be quite a fun idea. Let me know whether you want to see any cinematic videos or anything like that as well. I think I will be doing a full video about the minifigs as well, so if you're interested in that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for that video to come out in the next couple of weeks. I also have some pretty awesome videos coming up in January for my full army videos, like my clone army, my Imperial army, everything like that. That's all going to be coming out in January, as well as a few updates on my castle mock and things like that coming very soon. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned, guys. Thank you so much for the support on this series. I've had a ton of fun and I really can't wait for the next mock building series. I really do have the mock building bug right now, guys. I can't wait to start my next project. So make sure you stay tuned for that. It's going to be an amazing one. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay safe and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.